Hey everyone, welcome once again to yet another Black Friday live stream. This is currently my third live stream, the most Black Friday live streams I've ever done. So if you're just tuning in here or watching the replay, the main goal here today is just for me to have a look at the chat, chuck in your questions of whatever earbuds, headphones, even speakers. I've tested a couple speakers, not that many though. So I can help you decide what is going to be the best product to get right now when most of the products are usually the cheapest out of at least what I've seen them as. Before we get into the chat, I'm going to quickly run through the process today and also just some tools I have down in the description to make it easier so you can, for yourself, decide which products are going to work the best for you. So first off, if you look down in the description, which I will share my screen right now. Where are we? Let's see, screen share. Bam, chuck me in the corner there. Let's share this tab, which is going to be a bit of streamception right now. But if you want to check the affiliate links down below, they're all linked down here. As you can see, I've got it broken down into all earbuds and headphones purchase links. So if you click on that, that's going to take you to this beacons link page where it's sort of organized. You have different price ranges there. Half-in earbuds, sports earbuds, open earbuds, headphones, budget, and both premium. Of course, these affiliate links do help support the channel. Otherwise, if we go back here, you have some special mentions, which is like just products that I missed in the last few live streams. And then there's earbud purchase links. These are basically taken from my earbud awards video, all the top earbuds that I gave awards to. Same with the headphones there. If you haven't checked out the awards videos, they're also linked down here. You can check the earbud awards, headphone awards. Just search it on my channel or whatever. And finally here, I'm going to mention my custom scoring spreadsheets, which you can click right down here in the description as well. And that's going to take you to my Ko-fi page, where you can check all my scoring spreadsheets. The latest ones here are going to be the updated all true wireless earbuds spreadsheet, which has all earbuds in any price range. You can donate if you want. If not, chuck a $0 in there, add to cart, and you can download it for free. And that will take you over to the scoring spreadsheet for all the earbuds. There's also one for headphones. There's some older ones. Like if you have a look here, there's the headphones one. There's a clip-on earbuds one, open earbuds for hook style buds, half-in-ear, sports earbuds. And these ones here are sort of more outdated, but those top 6 there are going to be the main ones to have a look at. And let's jump over to one of the spreadsheets here so I can quickly explain it to you if you don't know how it works. So I'll share my screen here. So this is actually currently a new version of the scoring spreadsheet with a couple of sneaky extras, like some currency adjustments and whatnot. But basically, this has all the earbuds that I've scored and ranked for earbuds in any price range. So you can have a look there. You can customize the scoring with, this is the new one, so I actually don't know. Wait, where's the old one here? Here we go. So this is what the original one will look like. You can chuck a number in each of the categories there. It'll basically multiply the entire category. So if comfort doesn't matter, just get rid of it. If noise canceling is super important, chuck in a 10. Well, that's 19. Chuck in a 10, that'll multiply the entire category, which just adds more weight to each category, more importance basically. And once you've done that, you'll get a new custom ranking for all the buds below. There's also specifications. You can compare all the buds, core quality tab for all the scores in a quiet room, crowd room, and windy city test, and then a little good old-fashioned terminology tab if you don't know what the heck I'm talking about with these wacky true wireless earbud and headphone terms. So that's the scoring spreadsheet. Everything is linked down in the description. I'm pretty sure I covered everything there. So now let's just jump straight into some of your questions. That's the focus today. If you're just tuning in, chuck your questions in the chat, and I'm going to answer your questions and help you decide what products you're going for. To make it easier for me, let me know the price that you are looking at for each product, where you're looking to buy it from as well. It can help me out. And let me know if it's the earbud or headphone, because sometimes they have the same name and the earbuds and headphones have the same name. So yeah, that'll make it easy for me. But let's get into it, shall we? I'm tuning in here right now. It's 2 p.m. Sydney time, but I wanted to do a stream where everyone in the US, it'd be like, it's technically your Black Friday now, Black Friday night, where it's Saturday here in Sydney. But let's just jump straight into the questions, shall we? Starting here with Blazer Boy 193. Skull Candy Method 360 for 74 euros. Is there anything close to the fit of these other than the Bose QC? I actually looked at this right before I started. I couldn't think of any other buds. The unique thing about the Bose QC buds, as well as the Skull Candy 360, is they're one of the few earbuds that have a wingtip. At least like regular consumer earbuds that also have a pretty decently sized wingtip. So you can see here, that's kind of what the wing looks like. I'm sharing my screen there. Yeah, so this is the exact same ergonomics as the Bose QC buds. Going off memory, like you're gonna have to go for like a sports style earbud if you want to get that wingtip. Which I'm thinking Powerbeats Fit, Powerbeats Pro, not Powerbeats Pro, just Powerbeats Fit. From the top of my head, I can't think of anything right now. So if anyone in the chat knows, chuck a little comment there in the chat, and I'll come back to that. All right, next up we have Indigo Panar. I can't decide in between the Soundcore Q45 and Earphone Tune Pro. Right now, the Tune Pro are 49 USD, Q45 79 USD. So let's double check that there. I did award the Earphone Tune Pro best budget headphone, mainly for their noise canceling strength. And again, like there's going to be a bit of a theme with this live stream here. This is normally what I do with my testing. Like sometimes I can only remember so much. So for example, here, if you download one of my spreadsheets, for example, the headphone scoring spreadsheet, which I will open up here now, it can kind of give us a bit of an easier idea of what we're actually working with here. Earphone, so the Earphone Tune Pro is there, and then we're comparing it to the Soundcore Q45. The spreadsheets aren't perfect. There's going to be an updated version which makes it easier to compare. But right now, I just search for it, highlight both, and then kind of go back and forth here. So we can see build quality is better on the Q45. The Tune Pro is not too bad though. You do get more spacious ear pads on the Q45, just going off memory. The Tune Pro does have decent battery life. I think it's like 80 hours with noise cancelling on, but there's no issues with battery on the Q45 either. Controls, 8.5 for both, pretty much the same, just regular button controls. I think both have LDAC high res. Let's see. Oh no, the Tune Pro, did I add that in? I'm pretty sure they have, no, they don't have high res. They just have high res via the wide connection. So that's pretty close there. Call quality is slightly better on the Tune Pro. I think it's pretty even there though. I just want to check the main ones here. So noise cancelling, noise cancelling is a 7.5 for the Q45. Same noise cancelling. Yeah, the Earphone Tune Pro has like surprisingly strong noise cancelling for the price. Transparency is pretty trash on the Q45, as is it on the Tune Pro. I would say with the transparency though, on the Q45, it has less occlusion. The Tune Pro has a noticeable amount of occlusion, but better clarity. So it's a bit of a weird one there. And in terms of sound quality, I think the Tune Pro sounds better. So I think overall, the Tune Pro is going to be slightly better. Let's bring it up here. So the Tune Pro, yeah, at 49 versus 79 for the Q45. In terms of just pure specs, I think the Tune Pro is better value. Just keep in mind, you don't get a soft case or a hard case. The Q45 does include a hard case. So whether or not that really matters to you, I think the better value option there is the Earphone Tune Pro. There we go. So what I just did there, you can do that for yourself with the scoring spreadsheet linked below. I usually just do it if I can't remember the main specifications. All right, that's the same question there. Okay, so you also added in, are there any better options at 80 USD? Yeah, I'd say if you want to spend that much, go for the CMF Headphones Pro. I think they're exactly 80 bucks. Nice work with the double question there. Yeah, $79. Comparing the Tune Pro to the CMF headphones, overall, the CMF headphones actually have weaker noise cancelling, to my surprise. Earpads are more spacious. The build quality is a little bit better. You get a soft case included. The sound quality it's pretty neck and neck between the Tune Pro. You get a slightly more open sound on the CMF headphones. Call quality is noticeably better on the CMF headphones. What else is different there? Let's jump back into the old trusty scoring spreadsheet. Oh, they're right next to each other. How good. Yes, like I said, battery similar. Yeah, controls. Oh, yeah. The CMF Headphone Pro do have more tactile controls. Like you have like a button that you can kind of roll to adjust the volume as well, which is pretty cool. That's similar. Core quality, yeah, better on the core quality, better on the Tune Pro. From memory, the Headphone Pro have better core quality, at least in windy conditions. Might have to redo that one. Let's see. Yeah, noise canceling better on the Tune Pro. Transparency is noticeably better on the CMF Headphone Pro. That's a big one if transparency mode is important to you. The mode that lets you hear things. And then sound quality, it's kind of neck and neck there. Slightly more open sound on the Headphone Pro. Tune Pro, you can kind of call it slightly more V-shaped, a bit closed in, but yeah, you can EQ the Earphone Tune Pro a lot easier. The CMF Headphone Pro only have a 3-band EQ and a hearing test, which works pretty well, but you got to run through the hearing test a few times. So yeah, no, there's no clear answer there. It really depends. Like, are those like minor differences worth spending another, what is that, $30? Okay. Hi, mate. This is from Not That BK. How much of a difference in ANC levels would earbuds and headphones have? Yeah, for example, Nothing Headphone 1 and Nothing Ear 3. If you check out my recent video, I did like a headphone versus earbud comparison video. So if you're comparing earbuds at roughly that price, so you're comparing the Nothing Headphone 1 and Nothing Ear 3, I never compared those directly, but usually the headphones give you slightly stronger noise canceling, but I'd say maybe like 10%. Going off the memory there, the headphone one is maybe 10% stronger in terms of noise canceling strength. It's not a massive difference. Like I compared the two of the best earbuds and headphones for noise canceling, which is the Bose QC Gen 2 earbuds and QC Gen 2 headphones. I actually think the earbuds were slightly stronger in all my simulation testing and real world testing. So it depends the price you're going at. Nothing Headphone 1 off memory, they're slightly stronger, but it's not a massive difference. Griffey, thanks for tuning in once again in the round 3 live stream. Thanks a lot for joining in. Aiden, should I get the Space One Pro headphones or the OnePlus Buds 4 for better value? Nice. I'm liking the headphone earbud questions. Most people kind of stick to only headphones or earbuds. But yeah, if you are interested in like the main differences, there's a lot to cover, especially when it comes to like sound quality is a very interesting one. Just check out my full video, which I recently released, Earbuds vs. Headphone Awards 2025. But let's have a look at the Space One Pro headphones on Amazon. Am I sharing the screen? Yeah, let's chuck that up there. Chuck me in the corner. So Soundcore Space One Pro, I think they were like 110. Try and make sure my screen doesn't shake too much because my camera is right on the screen. Yeah, 113, and you want to compare them to the OnePlus Buds 4, which are about $89. I actually think I compared these head to head in the awards video. I honestly can't remember the main differences, but in terms of noise canceling, yeah, the Soundcore Space One Pro were definitely stronger, not by a massive amount though. Transparency is going to be a lot better on the OnePlus Buds 4. Sound quality, I'd say, is pretty close. I think the OnePlus Buds 4, the stock tuning is a bit more balanced compared to the Space One Pro. So you can probably get a slightly clearer sound there. What else? Controls are solid on the OnePlus Buds 4. Core quality is noticeably better on the OnePlus Buds 4 as well. So I think the OnePlus, I have to give it to the OnePlus Buds 4 overall if we're talking pure value for money, because the OnePlus Buds 4 are still, they're also a bit cheaper. They're $89 US. But I would recommend grabbing them off AliExpress for usually around $70 US. The link that I have in my affiliate link down below has the Amazon link, as well as you can direct it to AliExpress, which is where I bought my pair off. A lot of other people bought them from there as well, and I've had no issues with AliExpress. So I have to give it to the OnePlus Buds 4. You're probably going to hear me say this throughout the live stream quite a bit. All right, moving on. Caleb, hey, morning, afternoon, evening. Yes, it is afternoon for me. And I think it's, well, there's definitely various, everyone's going to be in their own time zones. So I like that. I like the triple way to introduce it there. All right, Darian Kitchen. Is $229 a good deal for the Technics AZ100? Is it the best at that price? Yeah, I'd have to say if like sound quality is your priority, then you want an all-round good earbud, that's a very good price. I think are we talking USD there? Because I think that is what I remember seeing it as. Yeah, 222. Yeah. Yeah, I have to say if you want like really great sound quality, like a very open sound, super crisp treble, nice separation, that's your priority. And then you still want decent noise canceling, solid transparency. They have top 3 call quality, the best battery life, 10 hours with noise canceling on the earbuds, which I haven't tested, but usually it's pretty close. It might not be exactly that, but still, that's very impressive. The only other bud I would recommend over the AZ100 would be the AirPods Pro 3 if you're in the Apple ecosystem, similar price. Or if you want the strongest noise canceling, it's going to be the Bose QC Ultra Gen 2. I would say that the noise canceling is noticeably stronger, at least for me, on the Bose QC Ultra 2. Sound is not quite up to scratch with the AZ100, but that's another good option. And that's basically what I awarded in my awards video. The Technics AZ100 tied with the AirPods Pro 3, and then you have the Bose as the runner-up there. So all 3 are just great all-rounders. You're not going to have any issues there. But if, sound is your priority, you want everything, Technics AZ100 are great. The only issue for me with them is like the fit's a little bit different compared to the AZ80. Let's bring them back here. So I don't know if you can kind of see it, if they have any pictures of the earbud. Yeah, I don't know. The ergonomics is slightly different. For me, it causes discomfort after about an hour of use. The AZ80 were not an issue. So though, if discomfort is like you normally find earbuds just are generally not that comfortable for you, I would recommend going for the Bose QC Ultra Gen 2. Just a more seamless fit for most people, from at least what I've seen. Blue 3620. How tall am I? I used to say I was just under 6 foot, but I actually remeasured it. I'm like 5'10" and a half, which is quite sad. So moving on. I thought I was like 5'11" and a half for the last like 5 years. I'll just say roughly 6 foot. Yeah. All right. Raj put Pardeep 9. Which earbuds do I recommend? Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4 versus Nothing Ears 2024 AirPods 2/3 Pro. Also below $100 CMF Buds Pro. Okay, let's do the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4 versus Nothing Ear 2024 versus AirPods 2/3 Pro. Simple answer, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, go for the AirPods Pro 2 or 3. If not, go for the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4. One of the best all-around earbuds, great noise canceling, solid sound, great, some of the best call quality. Nothing Ear, not quite up to scratch with those other 2 buds there. And below 100 CMF Buds Pro or Plus. Yeah, that's a really interesting one. It's basically neck and neck between both of those buds, to the point where I'm going to have to go into my spreadsheet to fully compare and make sure I don't miss anything. Because if we have a quick look on here, the CMF Pro 2 are slightly cheaper. I think they're 47. CMF Pro 2, 47, and the Buds 2 Plus, I think it's what you're asking here. Or Buds, CMF Buds Pro. Yeah, I'll assume you're going Buds 2 Plus. Price difference, what's $8, not a huge difference. I think the Pro 2 is going to be better value. But just to make sure we don't miss anything, let's jump over to the scoring spreadsheet. And here's another little sneak peek. I covered this in my last live stream. A new feature coming to the scoring spreadsheet, which allows you to compare certain earbuds, so you're not having to scroll one side of the spreadsheet to the other. So we're doing CMF. Where are we? CMF Pro 2 and CMF 2 Plus. Okay, they're right next to each other, but basically you can tick it, and then you can come down here, and whatever earbuds you have ticked, you can compare head to head rather than scrolling all over the place. But for this instance here, we'll just stay nice and close. So we can also see the notes for the scores, which makes it a bit easier. I'm trying to add that in. No, I'm not doing this as well. I have no idea how to do this. One of my viewers just did this for free. His name's Trond, and he's just he's been killing it with my scoring spreadsheet. So shout out to Trond. So fit's the same. Security is the same. Battery slightly better on the 2 Plus, 7.5 hours, 33 hours in total noise cancelling on versus 6.5, 26 hours total on the Pro 2. So keep that in mind there. Controls, I scored the Pro 2 slightly higher because they actually have a dial on the case, which you probably know of. It's this little thing here, which just gives you more options if you want to change a volume on the case. I found I would never use it, but like everyone's use scenario is going to be a little bit different. You can set like low latency mode to that. You can set different functions and controls. You can tap it in as well. That's a nice little unique benefit over the CMF Buds 2 Plus. But going back to the spreadsheet, so right now you can see why it's so close there. Bluetooth connectivity, same. You get LDAC on both Bluetooth 5.4 versus 5.3 doesn't matter. Core quality is the same. Both are really good, like up there with the best buds. App customization is the same. You do get a hearing test on the Buds 2 Plus, but I didn't really find it that useful. You don't get it on the Pro 2, but it's just a 3-band EQ, which is not great, but you can tailor the buds enough. Noise cancelling is slightly stronger on the Buds 2 Plus, like a couple of percent. That's 7.5 versus 8. Noise transparency is the same, both pretty decent, and sound quality pretty similar. Like from memory, I think the upper mids are kind of more prevalent on the Buds 2 Plus. The trebles slightly more crisp on the Pro 2. So I hope that helps you out. I'm not going to be able to give you a clear answer there. If you want to save a bit of money, I think the Pro 2 are still, I think the Pro 2 are the better value bud. And you have a little case style, it's a little bonus there. And if you don't like it, you can just turn it off. Okay, next up. What should I buy? Nothing Headphone 1 or Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra? I never tested the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra. Let's see what the price is that they are at. Bose QC Ultra headphones. I've only tested Generation 2 and never tested Generation 1. So Generation 2 are 400. Let's see, $299 for Gen 1. From what I've seen off DHRME and a couple of other reviews, is that the fit is exactly the same. Noise cancelling is obviously stronger on Gen 2. I don't know by how much. But anyway, we're comparing a $299 headphone to the Nothing Headphone 1, which I think the Headphone 1 was like $240. So $240 versus $300. If you want the most comfortable headphone, I would go for the Bose Quiet Comfort Ultra. I awarded Gen 2 the most comfortable headphone. It's the perfect balance of clamping force, headband cushioning. The earpads are pretty spacious, even for my giant ears and my giant head. This has a very light feel in the head. Nothing Headphone 1 are pretty comfortable as well. Also spacious earpads. It's just like a slightly weird shape, so the ergonomics aren't as great. It's just not as light of a feel. The earpads are a little bit firmer, but I could still wear the Nothing Headphone 1 all day, personally. So fit's pretty close there. Noise cancelling is obviously going to be stronger on Gen 1, even though I haven't tested it. I assume it is, because you can only improve the noise cancelling so much. So I can't really say for sure there. Sound quality, I'd have to give to Gen 1. Again, I can't say for sure. I haven't really tested it. I'm just going off what I've done with what I've tested with Gen 2. The Nothing Headphone 1 do give you a decent parametric EQ. The button controls are very good. The controls on the QC headphones, I use like a swipe gesture for volume. It's really not that intuitive. You only get one button. So controls I give to the Nothing Headphone 1. I think the Headphone 1 would be better value unless you really want that comfort, stronger noise cancelling. If comfort and noise cancelling is a priority, then I'd say go for the Quiet Comfort Ultra Gen 1. Again, I haven't tested it. I can't say for sure. All right, moving on. Nothing Ear 3 or OnePlus Buds 4, OnePlus Buds 4. Nice, easy answer. Just better in basically every way. It doesn't have a super mic, which the Ear 3 does have. Actually, I haven't checked the price of the Ear 3 yet. So that's a Nothing Ear 89. Ear 3 179. It's not on sale, so I thought it would have been. If it's 179, like 100%, the OnePlus Buds 4 are well under half the price. They're better overall. The only real advantage of the Ear 3 is the super mic. You can talk into the case, it works as a microphone. I actually think the earbud mics are better, unless you're like, you get it really close. It doesn't work well in windy conditions. Not that it really matters because the earbud mics are really good anyway. But super mic is quite a niche feature, which you might be able to utilize well. Apart from that, yeah, definitely go for the OnePlus Buds 4, 100%. I think they're better, and yeah, in basically every way. Okay. Next up, we have, can't pronounce your name, upgrading to a closed ear headphone, mostly movie watching on the NVIDIA Shield Pro. Was able to get Sony XM4 to 135, want to stay below 300. Worth upgrading to the XM6 or Momentum 4. Wow, what a bit of a throwback there, the XM4. It's a really good price. Honestly, I mean, if you're having any issues with the XM4, they probably still going to, I haven't used them in so long. I don't even own a pair anymore. I guess I ended up selling them. Yeah, you're not really, like going up to the Momentum 4, definitely not worth it, except for the sound quality. That's going to be the most noticeable upgrade. I think in terms of fit and overall features, the XM4 is probably at least on par with the Momentum 4. The XM6 is definitely going to be a noticeable upgrade with noise cancelling, transparency, sound quality. I can't remember, but the XM6 do sound very good. Yeah, I would really say when it comes to that, like it really depends on what you are. What if you are having issues with the XM4? If you're not, then it's probably not worth upgrading. Another big one there would be call quality. I think the XM4 didn't have the best call quality, but again, I'm just going off memory. Haven't used them in years. The XM6 have pretty decent call quality for headphone standards. All right, David. I used to have the Nothing Ear A, but they were uncomfortable and put too much pressure on my ears. You'd like something smaller and more comfortable, around $100 US. That's a tricky one. The Nothing earbuds are some of the smallest buds that I've tested. Like from going off the top of my head, like this, like a bud that will probably work better is going to be the Google Pixel Buds Pro 2, but they're definitely over $100 unless they're like on a massive sale. Yeah, 168. Like that's the smallest earbuds that I've tested. 168. You can get them renewed, maybe cheaper. What other buds are small? Yeah, the Ear A are pretty small. Can't think of anything right now. If I do, or if anyone in the chat knows of any smaller earbuds around $100 US, let me know. All right, can't decide between the Earphone Tune Pro and Q45. I answered that before. The consensus was, I think the Tune Pro was better overall. Except the Q45 has a hard case, which might be better for you. Hello. All right, Blue 360, 3620. Off-topic question: how large are your ear canals? Also, how tall are you? Just curious. My ear canals, I actually measured them once to see if they were above average size. Look, just Google like average ear size. My ears are like 10% larger than the average ear size, so they're slightly larger ears. I don't know. I have a pretty big head though, so they probably don't look that big. And I'm 5'10", maybe like 5'11", 5'10" and a half, we'll say. I think 178 centimeters. I don't know. I used to say I was 182 centimeters for so long. I thought I was taller than what I was, but yeah. All right. Probably buying the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4. Maybe wait for generation 5. Just scared they will price will be. Yeah, I'm honestly not. I don't remember the retail price of the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4. I got them a bit later. Usually they're not going to be that much more expensive though. But I don't know how often they release earbuds. Huawei, they probably do it every year because I barely keep up with Huawei's earbuds half the time. Okay. So I saw your video about Soundpeats Air5 Pro Plus. Main problem is battery life. Yeah, they have terrible battery life. It's something I've noticed, at least with most of their recent releases. Maybe it's just like a way for them to reduce cost. I know with the Air5 Pro Plus, they use an XMEMS driver. Previous buds that use an XMEMS driver have had very poor battery life as well. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. Like you're only getting 3.5 hours of battery life with noise cancelling on. Where are they? Yeah, $103. This is my most recent bud that I reviewed, the Soundpeats F5 Pro Plus. Great sound, like solid all-round earbud, but 3.5 hours of battery with noise cancelling on is probably not enough for most people. It's like 17.5 hours in total with the case. So you're just gonna be charging your case a lot more often than most earbuds, probably twice as often. So yeah, it could be a cost saving thingo, or yeah, the batteries they use aren't great, or the chips they're maybe using are a bit too overpowered. Although I'm pretty sure they use the same chips as Earphone, because they also use aptX lossless and aptX adaptive. It's a Qualcomm 309 something. So there's many factors there. I honestly don't know for sure. All right, Blue 3620 is back again. What do you think about the Soundcore AeroClip, Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro, Nothing Headphone 1? These are these TWS I've been eyeing for some time. Yeah, Soundcore AeroClip are one of the best clip-on earbuds you can get right now. There are slightly cheaper ones you can get from Baseus that are really on the same level as the AeroClip. But let's see, AeroClip Pro, that doesn't even exist. It's just the AeroClip. I'm sure the Pro model will come out eventually. Wow, that is not what I'm trying to spell. AeroClip. Yeah, these were the highest scored clip-on earbud that I had for quite a while. For $99, I have to say that's probably the best value. If we compare it to the Baseus XC1, I think they're the same price. Yeah, it's really close there. So $99 versus $99. In terms of sound, like sound is pretty similar between both buds. The main advantage of the Soundcore AeroClip is that it has like, I don't know what you call it, for like capacitive controls or haptic controls. So it's not regular touch controls. You can just like hit anywhere on the bud, or you can just double tap like on your jaw, and then the controls will activate, which is pretty handy if you're exercising. Like if you're running, you'll know it's really hard to use like touch controls or like a button control, because you're moving and you're trying to touch the button at the same time as when you're moving. Well, here you're going to smack your entire head and you can activate your controls nice and easily. So that's a slight advantage of the AeroClip over the Baseus XC1. But overall, they're pretty close there. So yeah, definitely worth grabbing. They also have the advantage of these gels you can attach to the, see if I can find it in one of the images here. There's like these gels you can attach to the ear tip if you have smaller ears, or if you notice like clip-on earbuds just slide off your ears, like your ears might be really thin. You can attach those gels. Here we go, this should be it. Snug and secure, find your fit. Yeah, they include these little ear grip thingos you can chuck on, medium and large. It just makes it like a bit thicker, so it's gonna be more stable when you're exercising, which is pretty rare. Not many clip-on earbuds have that. Soundcore Liberty 4 Pro, yeah, a bud worth checking out. Okay, I have them scored pretty high in my ranking. I think like at least a 85 out of 100. Yeah, they're $89. So they're actually on par with the OnePlus Buds 4 in terms of pricing. Comparing the two, that's actually a pretty interesting comparison. You do get the advantage of the screen on the case, just it's a tiny screen. You get battery life on there. You can activate spatial audio, take a photo with the case on your phone. They do use squeeze and swipe controls, which is pretty rare at this price. That is an advantage over the OnePlus Buds 4. Sound quality is pretty close. You get good customization of the sound, great battery life, noise cancelling is pretty close. Call quality is up there with the best. So yeah, if you want a screen on your case, that's definitely worth checking out as well over the OnePlus Buds 4. And the Nothing Headphone 1, they're a solid all-rounder for sure. At $230, like we're comparing them to the Bose QC Gen 1 before. I did award them sort of like runner-up in my headphone awards video. But they do nail the main categories. Spacious ear pads, you get pretty solid call quality. The sound is, I don't really love the sound of them. They're a little bit too flat for me. And you can, like, the issue with like a stock tuning that's a bit flat is hard. You can only EQ the headphones so much. So you can push out some nice treble. You can get them a bit more dynamic if you want. But it's still a little bit bland for my liking. That's why I'd recommend the Sennheiser Momentum 4. If sound quality is your priority, they are a little bit cheaper. Momentum 4. Yeah, 199. The Headphone 1 are better overall in all categories, but if sound's your priority, go for the Momentum 4. The Headphone 1 do have better controls. They have like buttons everywhere, like a paddle to skip tracks, a roller for volume and noise cancelling adjustment. They have the best headphone controls. You also get solid transparency mode. It's really just the sound that's a bit of a letdown. But yeah, still definitely worth grabbing, especially if you like the unique design. It is another standout there. All right. So we're going back to the Soundpeats Air Pro Plus, recoding their old app called Soundpeats New Visual and Fix. Yeah, so Soundpeats have had a new app out for a while called Peats. The earbuds will still work on the old app, which is called Soundpeats, but the new app is supposed to be slightly better. It still needs a bit of work, in my opinion, but it's getting there. Okay. Hello there, Erosino-ish. Hey, Picky, would you suggest the new Soundpeats Clip 1? I don't think you made a review on this one yet, but at the price it comes with Dolby Audio. Another one was the Tozo NC20 Pro. I do have the Clip 1 somewhere. I have tested them out. There's no plan for a review coming out just yet. But in my quick test, very decent sound. I'd put it pretty close to the Soundpeats Pearl Clip Pro in terms of sound quality, which I still think that's going to be the best value clip-on earbud. Soundpeats Pearl Clip, which is like 37 US dollars. The Soundpeats Clip 1 have been out for a couple of weeks, but I haven't tested them properly yet to properly recommend them. 69 bucks, no sale yet. I'm just going off how good the Pearl Clip Pro are. They're going to be better value. But you get, like you said, you get Dolby Audio, you get LDAC. Not that it really matters. Dolby Audio is always it's almost like spatial audio. Like to me, spatial audio and Dolby Audio isn't really good on any earbud, especially with clip-on earbuds. The only clip-on earbud that's done it slightly well is Shokz, where I'd say it sort of improves the soundstage and separation without sounding too weird with echo and reverb. But yeah, I might get to that soon, potentially. And the Tozo NC20 Pro, I don't have. Tozo NC20 Pro. Tozo usually don't reach out to me to send anything over. Sometimes I'll just buy the bud. I've seen some videos. I know Gamesky covered these. I've heard good things, but I would have to test it myself. And you get a screen on the case. That's pretty impressive for the price that they're at, 59 bucks. If you like a bit of screen case action, which I personally think is overrated, but some people like screens on their earbud cases, so it's there if you need. All right, moving on. If you're just tuning in, again, affiliate links are down in the description below. There's some organized thingos there. You can check out my custom scoring spreadsheets to make it easier to compare the earbuds. But the focus here today is just chuck in whatever comments you have in the chat, and I'll quickly try and help you decide what to get in this Black Friday sale. So, Hardy, should I buy the XM4, XM5, or AirPods Pro 3? You want to use it for studying, music, and gym. You have issues with fit like the AirPods Pro 2, okay, which will fall out even with the smallest ear tip. But the Pro 3 are ergonomic. The reason the Pro 2 probably don't fit you is that they have a slightly more shallow fit, which might not work for you. So in that case, I think the Pro 3 should work a lot better. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, go for the AirPods Pro 3. It's very seamless. They're a great all-around bud with tons of small extras. The XM4 and XM5, I assume you're talking about the earbuds. The XM5 are definitely a decent earbud, especially with noise cancelling, even though they're a bit older. I just don't know how much they are right now. What are they, $228? That's their normal price, so they're not on sale. I think that's similar to the AirPods Pro 3. I mean, if you want to with the AirPods Pro 3, you can try them on in an Apple store if you have an Apple store nearby. They usually let you try them on. So it's a similar price. I think, yeah, AirPods Pro 3 are definitely the better value bud. Even if you're not in the Apple ecosystem, yeah, the Pro 3 do give you a better transparency mode, noticeably better transparency mode compared to the XM5. Better call quality, squeeze and swipe controls. You can't customize the sound, but they sound pretty great all around just with the stock tuning. So yeah, I definitely recommend the AirPods there in most scenarios. All right, Samuel, I believe you are a channel member, which is, I don't really promote it, but I appreciate you being a channel member, Sammy. So Piggy, I've been wondering lately, can you really not hear a massive difference between LDAC and SBC? Or you just know most people don't? For me, it's pretty obvious, especially with the AZ100. In my testing, going from SBC even to AAC, that's going to be really dependent on the Android device. I used to use a Asus Zenfone 10, and going from SBC to aptX Adaptive was noticeable. But a lot of the time, like I'm comparing AAC on an iPhone. I've done vigorous testing of AAC on an iPhone to LHDC, aptX Adaptive High Res, aptX Lossless on my old Asus Zenfone 10 and LDAC. I don't notice a massive difference. But if you are going from SBC, yeah, you probably notice a bit of a difference. If you're going from aptX or aptX Adaptive to LDAC, you might notice a slight difference. To me, the issues with connectivity, battery life, getting it set up, it's always a bit of a mess. So if you don't mind just like kind of going down that rabbit hole, I think it might be worth it for some people. Yeah, for most people, at least for me, I don't notice it. Could be my hearing. There's definitely many factors that can determine whether or not you're noticing a difference. Yeah, hearing being one of them as well. My hearing is fine. It's not the best though. I've been to a lot of festivals, played drums without hearing protection for many years when I was younger. So a lot of factors there. But yeah, to sum it up there, yeah, SBC, it's going to be more noticeable compared to AAC or aptX going over to lossless or high res, whatever. All right. Moving on, bought the AirPods Pro 2, $139 on Walmart. Is it a good deal? Yes, it is a good deal. If you're in the Apple ecosystem and you want a slightly more comfortable bud over the AirPods Pro 3, the Pro 2 are still one of my highest scored buds. I think I have them like, they're ranked in the top 5 still. So a very good deal there. Okay. Hello, for sound quality on iPhone, what's better, the Earphone Air Pro 4 or Sound Quality 4 NC? I've never compared them head to head. I think it's pretty close. I'm pretty sure I have them scored exactly the same. And price-wise, I think both of these buds are the same. Earphone Air Pro 4, $53. Sound Quality 4 NC. I think they are the same, roughly 56. Yeah, same price, really. Yeah, I can't remember in terms of sound. What we can do here, because I can't remember, let's jump over to my spreadsheet. Let's go to the simplified version here, and we'll read out my sound description. AirPods, no, earphone Air Pro 4. So I've got them at 7.5 for sound. Stock tuning balanced on the flatter side with lacking treble, easily fixed in the EQ. I don't remember it being balanced, but anyway, sounding much better than the Air Pro 3 and Free Pro 3, better clarity and treble. High ranked buds have a nice upper treble response, slightly better separation. Okay, I swear the Air Pro 4 were not balanced, but anyway, that's why I have these spreadsheets. What are we doing? Liberty 4, Soundcore, Liberty 4 NC. I got them at 7.5 as well. Let's see, stock tuning, bass boosted. Yeah, the 4NC is definitely bass boosted stock tuning. So on the more V-shaped side, definitely nice airy, crisp treble from memory. So I think if you like a slightly more V-shaped sound, 4NC might be the better go. If you want more balance, because the stock tuning is more balanced, you can keep the bud more balanced if you like. Maybe go for the Earphone Air Pro 4. Although you can still EQ the earphone buds quite well. It's like a 8 or 10 band EQ. Okay. All right, here we go. We've got some nice little tips here from Satrin. So if you're grabbing the Earphone Tune Pro, try out this EQ. The Tune Pro do need to be EQ'd quite a bit. Stock tuning is a little bit bloated. So we're talking about the Earphone Tune Pro. Great sound and noise cancelling. If you're looking for a nice, I'll share the screen here. If you're looking for just a solid headphone that just works as a headphone. You don't get a case or anything included, but you get strong noise cancelling, decent fit, great sound. That's what most people are looking for. So this is the EQ we recommend. Maybe take a screenshot of that if you are interested in playing around with that. So you have your frequency there, and then the -4 or plus is going to be the decibel increase or decrease. Oh, you're boosting the 8K by 10. Whew. That's a lot of. That's going to be pretty bright. 4K plus 10. I'm gonna have to check this out later on the replay and try it for myself. I definitely boosted the upper mids and treble a bit, but not that much. So yeah, I might try that out later. Thank you for sharing that. Okay. Not that BK. Many thanks for the answer on the ANC levels. Watch your recent videos. It got me even more interested in comparing headphones and earbuds. Nice. Always appreciate your content, mate. No worries. Thanks a lot for the kind words. He's talking about my earphone versus headphones video, which I did. Where is it? It was one of my most recent uploads. I'll share my screen here so you can see. So it was, yeah, the earphone versus headphones video here. Bit of an experimental one. I basically took the headphone awards video, earbud awards video, and then compared the earbuds and headphones, because sometimes the headphones are better, other times the earbuds are better. Okay. Go back to the Amazon page there. Let's keep it moving here. So just got the Sennheiser Momentum 4 for 150, and it is so good. Can someone share me the EQ band so I can try? Are you talking about the headphones or the earbuds? If you're talking about headphones, I don't actually EQ them. For the earbuds, I use the hearing test. Although for me, from memory, I boost the upper mids slightly and the mids, and that's pretty much it. But let me know if they're the headphones or the earbuds. All right, 3D print shops. What would you recommend for the best open buds? I got the OnePlus Buds Pro 3 from your recommendation. A classic bud, still solid earbud today. They kind of got outshined by the OnePlus Buds 4, just at a cheaper price. But for best open earbuds, let me know if you want one of the clip-on earbuds or one of the hook-style earbuds. So like a clip-on earbud is going to be this style of bud that, of course, clips on your ear, as you can see there. And then you have your hook style buds, which is, I think, AeroFit. Is going to hook around your ear, which the main downside here is if you wear glasses, it can kind of get in the way slightly, where the clip-on earbuds don't have that issue. So let me know, and I'll get back to this question. What about the XM4s? Question mark, exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation mark. They are like $159 US. Let's have a look. Sony XM4 headphones. So right now, that's not on sale, sadly. This is Amazon US, so that could be different depending on where you are. I mean, at that price, they're pretty good. Like, if you're going to be comparing them to, like, that's close in price to these, I guess, Sennheiser Momentum 4. But yeah, going off memory, I don't know what the main difference is there. Like in terms of noise canceling, transparency, and sound. That might be the best value, but I can't say for sure because I don't have them and I can't compare them. I don't remember, but I owned them for quite a bit. They were pretty solid. All right, good question here. Hi, do you have recommendations for noise canceling earbuds for motorcycles and or shooting ranges? For shooting ranges, you definitely don't want to be using any like commercial true wireless earbud unless it's specifically has passive noise isolation that is going to be safe when at a shooting range. I watched a couple of videos on hearing loss. I think you can get they're not actual earbuds, but they're like proper earplugs that also have noise canceling. So yeah, I wouldn't go any consumer noise canceling. It's a bit out of my expertise. But for motorcycles, noise canceling is a weird one with motorcycles. I assume you have a helmet on though. So if you have a helmet on, there won't be an issue with wind noise. But if you just want the strongest noise canceling, for earbuds, you're going to be looking at the AirPods Pro 3 or the Bose QC Ultra Gen 2. Yeah. Shooting ranges, I can't help you out fully there. I don't think any earbud will do the job though. You really want to make sure you protect your hearing at a shooting range. Unless you had like earmuffs on, like, and then you have your earbuds underneath if you need to listen to bangers whilst shooting. But yeah. All right. If I had exactly $100 and my primary concern was sound quality, what pair would you recommend to me? I've been looking at Soundcore. Are you talking about headphones or earbuds? Let me know. Just to quickly wrap it up there, if you're talking about earbuds, I reckon the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus or Soundpeats Air 5 Pro Plus are going to be pretty solid. Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus, I think they're at Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. They use a, what do you call it? What driver is a balanced armature with a dynamic driver? Really good value, 75 US bucks, 75 US dollars, US buckaroos. They have a pretty bright sound. If you like your treble to be really crisp, you get very nice detail, great instrument separation. These might be worth it for you, the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. If you like your tuning to be slightly more laid back, then the Soundpeats Air 5 Pro Plus are another really good one to look at. My most recent review. A slightly warmer, slightly more open tuning. They use an XMEMS driver, so the treble isn't as metallic sounding. It's a little bit more laid back, but very detailed. Yet very rich bass as well. I really love the sound of the Air 5 Pro Plus. The only issue is that their battery life is terrible. 3.5 hours with noise cancelling on, 17.5 in total with noise cancelling on. Where the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus has like well over double that. So the Air Pro 4 Plus is a better all-round bud. But if you're just looking for sound quality, other bud's going to get the job done. Depends if you want that slightly warmer tuning of the Air 5 Pro Plus or brighter tuning of the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. Yes, they both have the plus in their name. Must be so hard to name earbuds. You just run out, it goes Pro, and you use numbers, and you go plus, and then like, is it going to be negative next? I don't know. Maybe it'll be like the Earphone Air Pro squared next. That's good. Steal that from me, Earphone and Soundpeats. All right, Aiden, Picky. Hello, hi Picky. That's me. Hi, hey Picky. I'm just gonna read it out. Aiden, hey Picky. I have another question. Should I get renewed / refurbished AirPods off of Amazon? Or do they still operate normally? I personally have never used refurbished. I've never bought any refurbished products. So I have no idea. Maybe check out like a Reddit forum or something like that. Maybe some videos on YouTube, but personally no experience with it. I've seen some comments here and there, people having no issues, but yeah, I have no idea about the process of how they do that. All right, Masani 18 with a Pixel 9, which gives you better sound quality for the price. OnePlus Buds 4 or CMF Buds 2 Plus, considering LDAC support on the CMF. Sound quality, I'd put them neck and neck. The CMF Buds 2 Plus, from memory, like the stock tuning is slightly bass boosted. From memory, the upper mids are slightly more boosted on the CMF Buds 2 Plus, if you like that. So things like distorted guitars might stand out slightly better. The instrument separation can be better. The OnePlus Buds 4 are a more slightly like classic V shape. The mids are slightly recessed. The treble is more crisp. I really love the OnePlus Buds 4 treble. Powerful bass, it hits deep, but it's like neither bud is like over the top. After you EQ them, you can get them sounding pretty good. LDAC's not going to make a massive difference on the OnePlus Buds 4. Like the Pixel 9, it really depends. It's weird. Like someone else asked a question before comparing SBC to high res. The Pixel 9, like it really depends on how the Pixel 9 works with AAC. Like AAC is like the main codec used on Apple devices. Usually buds sound pretty close to high res on an Apple device with AAC. The Pixel 9 might revert to using SBC. So if you're comparing SBC to LDAC, it might be a bit more of a difference. But yeah, device to device, it changes. Like I've used the ASUS ZenFone 10 for a while. I got the Nothing 3A Pro, I think. 2A? No, 3A Pro. I actually think I'm mixing up the earbuds. Whatever this one is. This phone. I think it's 3A Pro. I can't remember. I use that, and that doesn't work very well with certain codecs. It's honestly a bit of a mess. So either way you go there, you're going to be good, basically. Yeah, to wrap it up. AirPods Pro 3 has zero bass. I don't think it has zero bass. Otherwise, I don't know what zero bass would sound like. If you are coming from slightly more V-shaped earbuds though, like we're just talking about the OnePlus Buds 4 there, CMF, Nothing's latest releases, most Soundpeats buds out of the box are slightly bass boosted. The AirPods Pro 3 are more balanced. So this is a classic case of psychological adaptation to what you are listening to. If you're mainly listening to bass boosted earbuds and you jump over to a bud like the AirPods Pro 3, it's probably going to sound like zero bass. I'm the same. When I first tried the AirPods Pro and the Pro 2 back in the day, I hated the sound because I was used to Soundpeats, which back then were even more bass boosted. So sometimes it does take a couple of hours of listening to kind of adapt. So you might notice at first a bud like the AirPods Pro 3 will sound super flat with no bass, but give it a day or two, you're probably going to get used to the bass response on the Pro 3. Then you'll go back to a bassier bud like the Soundpeats buds, and you're gonna be like, whoa, this is like bloated and there's way too much bass. That is something to consider. But again, we all have personal preference. I personally think the Pro 3 sound, yeah, for me, I wouldn't use them when exercising because the bass is a little bit too lacking. If like I'm moving around, not really focusing on the music, I just want some nice, like slightly bass boosted sound to get me going through my workouts. That's why I don't use them at the gym. I use the OnePlus Buds 4 instead. So something to keep in mind there. Do they have zero bass? No, but compared to another bud you use, it might sound like zero bass. And of course, we all have different preferences as well. Okay. OnePlus Buds 4 or Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus? Overall, OnePlus Buds 4. You do get better transparency mode. Swipe controls is a nice one to have. Battery and everything else is pretty much the same. Call quality is a bit better on the OnePlus Buds 4. I will say the slight advantage goes to the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus with, I think I just had them up here before. With sound quality, you do get a slightly brighter tuning with the balanced armature driver in there. Keep in mind the treble may come across a bit metallic, which can be in the nature of armature drivers, not all the time though. Still, if you do like really forward treble, but like to a point where you can dial it down in the EQ and it's not going to be harsh or over the top, then you might prefer the Air Pro 4 Plus. Both very solid value buds. On Amazon, the Air Pro 4 Plus are cheaper. The OnePlus Buds 4 are $89 right now, 89 bucks. You can get them on AliExpress, with my link down below. That's where I bought my buds from, AliExpress. Paid like 105 Australian dollars. So like, I mean, it depends where you're buying them. If you want to buy off Amazon, I'd say the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus are better value. But you can get the Buds 4 a bit cheaper on AliExpress. All right. We're going back to the height question. Were you talking about the height of my ears or my actual height? I think you're talking about, I was dropping the stats of my actual height. Vice versa. Does tall mean larger ear canals? I don't know. So going back to my ears, I'm just going off my entire ear. Now that raises the question, does having larger ears mean you have larger ear canals? I have no idea, but I mean, going off the study of myself, I usually use a larger or sometimes even extra large ear tips. So maybe it does. I have to ask ChatGPT that one. All right. Keep your questions coming. I'll probably go for another half an hour or so here. I did stream last night, like right before bed. I'm never doing that again because all I was doing whilst I was asleep, I was still trying to answer questions live streaming. It was an absolute disaster. So I'm underslept right now, and I will not be live streaming at night again. So there's a lot of questions I'm really behind on. I'm just going to try and pump through some of the main ones here, but keep your questions coming in. Normally I'll start off a bit slower, go on some tangents, but now I'm going to go the last half hour lightning round. We'll pump through these questions and I'll try and keep it within like 30 seconds for each one. So starting from here, XM4, XM5, AirPods Pro 3, all under $200. Would you suggest anything else? Have an iPhone, iPad, Windows laptop? Go for the AirPods Pro 3. If you're using Apple devices, it's a no-brainer. AirPods Pro 3 all the way. Great bud. So if there's buds in the chat I haven't tested, I'm just going to skip over them. JBL Tour Pro 3 for $200. that a question? Nah. If you're just recommending that, yeah, they're a solid bud for $200. JBL Tour Pro 3. I think they're in my top 5 overall ranking as well. JBL Tour Pro 5. I've gone ahead a few years. $200 if you want a screen on your case, some strong noise cancelling, great sound. They're a great all-around bud as well. If you're not in the Apple ecosystem, they're going to be a great one to get as well. Solid battery life. Yeah, no complaints there. Solid earbud overall. You have the OnePlus Buds 3. Go to the 4. You do get a noticeably better transparency mode. Noise cancelling noticeably stronger. They sound a little bit better as well. They're slightly more V-shaped, a bit more smoother overall, and the treble's a bit nicer. What else? Everything else is about the same. Core quality is the same. So if that matters for you, it might be worth going for. Okay. You're going back to the Tour Pro 3. Better options near the price. I mean, you can go for the Bose QC Gen 2 for $220 or $216. They give you stronger noise cancelling, core quality slightly better. Sound quality I'll give to the Tour Pro 3. Yeah, if you want to spend $200, the Tour Pro 3 are a pretty solid pick. I don't think many buds really come close. Like, you can spend a bit more and get the Technics AZ100, slightly better sound quality, but really not close. Yeah, JBL Tour Pro 3. I did add them to my links down in the description below as well. Okay. Torn between the OnePlus Buds 4, Earphone, Air Pro 4 Plus. What would you recommend? Overall, if you just want the best overall features, go for the OnePlus Buds 4. If you like your sound to be a bit brighter with it's just a slightly clearer sound, go for the Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. Either bud you go for, you're going to be sorted out, really. You're not going to make a wrong decision going for either bud there. Okay. Yeah, I agree. JBL Tour Pro 3, solid deal at that price. It's definitely the cheapest I've seen them. Okay. Are the CMF by nothing over the ear comfortable to wear? Yeah, they're pretty comfortable. My only complaint is because I do have larger ears. They're very spacious ear pads. They're a little bit short, so my ear touches slightly, but it's still a headphone I could wear all day. So if you have regular size ears, you're going to be having no issues at all. All right, okay, going back to, I'm very behind on the chat here. Open headphones or bone conducting. 100% go for a clip-on earbud or an open earbud. The sound quality difference is immense. You get better bass. Everything just sounds a lot better. Bone conduction, the latest one, the Shox Open Fit Pro 2 Plus or something like that. I did cover them. They're pretty decent. But the only reason you'll want to use a bone conduction is for a swimming earbud. Because the only way to use an earbud underwater is with bone conduction combined with earplugs, combined with using your media stored onto the actual earbuds themselves. Which is why I added that to this most recent live stream, because that is a category I'm sure some people are looking for. The Shox Open Swim Pro. Yeah, this is the only and the only reason you should use bone conduction is for using an earbud underwater. And this is the only one I tested that will actually work, because Bluetooth doesn't work underwater. So, and actually getting sound into your ear canals will only work with bone conduction and the earplugs that they include, or any swimming earplugs. It's very, very cool if you've never tried that. Okay, moving on. Do you have any good wireless earbuds on iPhone? Budget of around 80, mainly care about sound and noise cancelling. OnePlus Buds 4 or Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. I think you may have just heard me explain it before. Sound's your priority, Air Pro 4 Plus. All-round features, OnePlus Buds 4. Let's see. Yeah, I'd still recommend OnePlus Buds 4 or Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus. They're better than any of Nothing's earbuds overall. Sorry, Nothing. It's true. All right. Let's see. Picked up the Aero clip to replace my Shox Open Dots 1, and they do a good job. Yeah. Yeah, the Shox Open Dots 1, they're still the best sounding clip-on earbud. Also, if you just want the best sound for a clip-on earbud, Open Dots 1, 139. They're really good, except for the touch controls are quite finicky. If you can get around the controls in there, they're the best open earbud you can get. But for $99, the Soundcore Aero clip sound is pretty close as well, or the Basis XC1. All right, quick question. What's your favorite genres in general and testing? My favorite genre is obviously metal, if you follow me. I still like to listen to like trance and tech, like kind of like melodic techno and stuff like that. Um, but metal, if I had to choose one, it's obviously going to be metal. Yeah. A bit of hardstyle. I go through phases of listening to hardstyle. And yeah, if I'm working, I listen to like relaxing Zelda music as well. Can't go wrong with a bit of relaxing Zelda music. All right, what else we got here? Let's pump through these comments. Probably go for another, what's the time? 25 minutes. Okay, for the iPhone, would you suggest OnePlus Buds 4, Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4? Both around $100. Interesting. I thought the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 4 would be a bit more. Both have great call quality. Noise cancelling is a bit stronger on the FreeBuds Pro 4. I think the OnePlus Buds 4 should be cheaper though, so I'd say they are better value. But the sound is a little bit, it's like you get a slightly more balanced sound on the FreeBuds Pro 4. It's a bit clearer. Stock tuning is more balanced. Buds 4 slightly more V-shaped, but both really are going to have no issues on an iPhone. I use my OnePlus Buds 4, my iPhone 15 Pro, basically 5 days a week when I train. And my go-to training bud, no complaints there. Okay. Do you think the Pete's H3 look good? Yeah, considering buying them for the looks, they do look quite unique. They're a great bud of sound. They're the best. Actually, I forgot to mention this before. Someone asked about best sounding buds around $100. I'd put the Soundpeats H3 at number one. If you like slightly more balanced tuning, where the mids are boosted and they're quite forward, but to a point of not being too over the top. So if you just want your vocals well separated, great instrument separation, you also get a pretty open sound. Treble's quite smooth but detailed. H3 are going to be a great bud. They are, the only issue is that they are not the most comfortable earbud because they squished 3 drivers into them. But they're a pretty solid all-around bud. You can get them for 103 right now. Great sound quality. It's like a unique type of sound, but yeah, definitely a worthy option at that price. Okay. Let's see. Sound quality 40. Let's see. Great all-around buds. All right, we've got a little donation here from Ulysses Fart Knocker. Beautiful name. Regarding the aero clip, Soundcore corrected the dust water resistance from IPX4 to IP55. It was always that rating, just printed incorrectly. Thanks for letting me know. I think, yeah, on my review, I think I had it as IPX4. I actually can't remember. So, yeah, thanks for the intel and thank you for the donation as well. Okay. Lib4 felt like a step back from the 3s. We're talking Soundcore here. OnePlus is a type. Yeah, honestly, if you're making true wireless earbuds, that'd be an absolute nightmare. When you got brands like OnePlus just pushing out great value, honestly, I would not recommend going into the true wireless earbud market as a real tricky one. Yeah, Soundcore, they're still up there as well though. Like they all, I'd say Soundcore are kind of on the top a few years back. They're still up there. I'd say OnePlus is kind of just at the top, but it's honestly so close with all the earbuds, even your budget brands like Earphone and Soundcore. Baseus is upcoming as well. What do I think about the AirPods Pro 4 ANC? I think they're the best half-in earbud you can get. I still use mine quite often. Being in the Apple ecosystem myself, I've got them right here. They're right next to me, as you can see. I'll use these if I'm on phone calls because there's no ear tips. I find they stay in my ears a lot better. I'm not having to readjust. Where any bud that has an ear tip, they'll slowly push out over time. I think they're on sale. That's the regular version there. 109. Is that with noise cancelling or is that, yeah, with active noise cancellation? Yeah, for $100, if you're in the Apple ecosystem, 100% worth it. You get pretty strong noise cancelling considering they don't use an ear tip. They sound close to regular buds with an ear tip. Yeah, I think they're great. Pretty flawless earbud. I just wish they had swipe controls. They use squeeze controls. For whatever reason, they didn't have swipe controls, which I was so devastated. Because if they had swipe controls, I'd probably use those more than any of the other AirPods Pros that I own. Okay. What should be the best open ear bone conduction buds? Just return the XC1. Let me know why you return the XC1 if you're having any issues with them. because they seem pretty solid all around in my testing and from what I've heard. But best bone conduction will be the Shocks. I think the Shocks Open Run Pro. I think that's what they're called. I tested them out in a review a while back. Yeah, Open Run Pro 2. They're definitely the best bone conduction. They actually use a combination of bone conduction and a regular air conduction, which is just like a regular driver. So for bone conduction standards, and if you want that neckband style, these are easily the best and a pretty good deal there. And the benefit here is you get really solid battery life compared to a true wireless earbud. I think it's like, what is it, 12 hours of powerful, 12 hours of powerful 3D audio. I think it's at least 12 hours of audio. I think it should be a bit more if you just use the regular. Anyway, they're the best. Yep. All right, where was I? I've just scrolled all the way to the top. How good. Let's scroll down here. Cool. Blah, 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 IEMs. What do I think of IEMs? I mainly use them. I use them on my electronic drum kit back there, Sennheiser i100 or something like that. I don't plan on reviewing them. I barely keep up with true wireless earbuds. So yeah, I still use wired earbuds and IEMs every now and then just to mix it up. I've got some KZ buds, I've got the Moondrop Arias. But I think nowadays, like, you're obviously going to get better sound from an IEM relative to the price. But I think true wireless earbuds are starting to catch up a bit more. It's just convenience for me. That's why I personally mainly use true wireless earbuds and just wireless products. Okay. Yeah, Jay Jones, if you've seen issues with the Liberty 4 Pros, the OnePlus Buds 4, at least to me, they're the best all-around value, and I haven't really heard that many bad things, like any issues with the OnePlus Buds 4 as of yet. Best app brand that is most user-friendly, it's going to be the Nothing X app, which is going to be on any Nothing earbud or CMF products, their headphones and their earbuds as well. So they definitely have the best app. And considering you're going to get a bud like the CMF Buds 2A for, I think they're like $19 right now, you can kind of see why I awarded the CMF range the best budget earbuds. Yeah, $19. They're giving you the best app customization as well because it uses the Nothing X app. Never really had any issues with it. It's just very seamless on iOS or Android. No worries, Tracy. No worries. Happy to help out. Do I think the CMF Pro 2 is better than Nothing 2? Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, overall, I can't think of any areas where the Nothing E2. The E2 do bring you a more balanced sound, which you might prefer, better EQ customization. You get the hearing test, which works quite well. Apart from that, the CMF Pro 2 are better overall, especially when it comes to value. All right, so let's see. Keep scrolling through here. All right. Keep your questions coming through. I'm trying to catch up here as much as I can, but I'm moving slow. So I'm just going to try and just choose the best of the best questions. No worries, Em. Happy to help out. All right, so we're throwing it back to before. I meant headphones when it came to headphone, when I talked about Sony XM4 and XM5. Oh, yeah. Okay, I had a feeling that might have been the case. I forgot what you were comparing it to there, so kind of missed that one. All right. What have we got here? Let me know your burning questions for this final roughly 15 minutes. All right. Anyone know if noise cancelling and calls are great in the Powerbeats 2? 170 euros or pounds. Is that euros or pounds? I don't know. Spend the extra, people can hear you well in a windy environment. If you're talking about Powerbeats Pro 2, they have really good call quality. Powerbeats. Is there a Powerbeats 2? Powerbeats. Combine Soundbeats and Soundbeats and yeah, Powerbeats Pro 2. Yeah, from my testing, the call quality is completely fine. Yeah, they'll be able to hear you well, at least in my testing. All good in that case. Yeah, I think the Bassist XC1 is the best value all-rounder in terms of your clip-on style earbuds. Really good sound after you EQ them. You get simple button controls. The app customization is really improved on Baseus's app. Yeah, really no complaints. Only issue is that the IP66 rating is pretty good. They did have wear detection, but they got rid of it with a recent update due to some technical issues. So they don't have wear detection, but most clip-on earbuds do not have that. Question about the AirPods 4. How do they sound versus other types of open earbuds? They sound much better. The AirPods 4, they're pretty much on par with most in-ear earbuds. Even when it comes to sub bass, you get a pretty decent amount of that deep bass, which still really isn't a thing on any open earbud or clip-on earbud. It's definitely noticeable. Yeah. So clip-on buds, open buds still have a bit of a way to go. Got the Powerbeats Pro 2 after a lot of different workout earbuds. Yeah, I think that's why I awarded them best workout earbud. Just very solid overall, especially when running, minimal body-borne noise, not too many issues there. Nothing Headphone 1 EQ suggestions. If you want to, I think a solid EQ, because now with the Headphone 1, they added in the community EQ. The Sound Guys EQ was pretty close to what I personally did, but they did it even better. So go to the community. I think you can download EQs in the app. Check out the Sound Guys EQ. I think they make the headphone sound noticeably better. It's a bit easy to explain as well, and letting you know my exact customization. Is the Soundpeats H3 worth the upgrade in sound over the OnePlus Buds 4? Not necessarily. If you like the sound of the OnePlus Buds 4, they're kind of more V-shaped. The H3 are slightly more balanced, a bit more laid back, but you kind of get better separation with your instruments. So it's a different type of tuning. I wouldn't necessarily say it's better, even though I have it scored higher, but I think the H3 bring you a pretty unique type of sound. If you're looking for something different, I think it's going to be a fun bud to play around with. If you want, not necessarily like more immersion, but I just find I can get more immersed with a bud like the H3. Just more realism with instrumentation and whatnot. But again, we all have different preferences. Okay. Got the OnePlus Buds 4. Didn't love the sound. Yeah, the stock sound is not amazing. I've never done a tutorial on how to EQ buds, but to really sum it up, basically like from left to right, if you go on any EQ, left is going to be bass. Then as you go closer towards the middle, that's going to be things like vocals. And then as you go towards the far end, the right side, I guess, that's going to be upper mids, which is like snare drums, distorted guitars, certain orchestration and instruments. And then your treble is going to be towards the far side, which is like hi-hats, crashes, but it all blends together. So that's probably not going to help you out that much, but I'm sure there's already tutorial videos out there explaining how to EQ your earbuds. But thanks for the idea. Could be a potential thing to do down the track. Maybe a short form video, that'd be good. Listening on the OnePlus Buds 4, loving this bud. Happy to hear John Ray Maramau 790. Okay. All right, what do we got next here? Baseus XC1 or Shox Open.1. Value for money. Oh, we've got the XC1 are there right now. They're 99. Shox Open.1 are 139, I think. You are getting better sound on the Shox Open.1. When it comes to controls, I'd have to give it to the Baseus XC1. Just for physical button controls, it is a lot easier to use. So if controls are a big one, go for the XC1. If you want to spend that extra $40 and you just want the best sounding clip-on earbud, then the Shox Open.1 might be worth it for you. Yep. Just bought the Tozo NC20, very surprised for $39. Sound much better than the Buds FE, very good noise cancelling. Yeah, I've heard good things about the NC20. I'll have to check them out eventually, hopefully by the end of the year. All right. So you just want better sounding than the Opera 5. You love the sound of the Opera 5, choosing between H3 and Air 5 Pro Plus. I think the Air 5 Pro Plus are closer, going off memory, to the Opera 5. Because the Opera 5, the treble is quite forward from memory on the Opera 5. Quite bass boosted. The H3 you probably won't like if you want a similar to Opera 5 type of sound. Although I don't know if I'd put the Air 5 Pro Plus on par with the Opera 5. After some EQing, you might be able to get it there, but yeah, it's a tricky one because I'm going off memory there. All right, CMF Headphone Pro or Sennheiser Ascentum for premium audio. I never tested the Sennheiser Ascentum, so I can't say for sure. But the CMF Headphones Pro, they're a very solid sounding headphone as well. So I have no complaints with the Headphone Pro. Just customizing the sound is a bit weird. All right, could grab the OnePlus Buds 4 and Soundcore X20 for calls and gym. Maybe the Powerbeats 2, AirPods Pro 2, both 170 need good calls for work. I don't know what I need for the gym, to be honest. I think the OnePlus Buds 4 should work fine, as long as you've tried stem style earbuds and they fit you well. For me personally, they get the job done. I don't need a hook style or a wingtip. That's just how my ears work. If you notice that's an issue, the Soundcore Sport X20 might be the better option. Any of those buds will do the job in terms of call quality as well. They all have very solid call quality, all pretty close there, to be honest, even in windy conditions. So in this case, you might be better off spending half the amount of money. I personally prefer the sound of the OnePlus Buds 4 or the Soundcore X20. It's more dynamic, more powerful bass, which I find works better for me when exercising, especially when you're running as well. That's the only downside of the Powerbeats Pro 2. Below 70% volume, the bass is a bit lacking, which you kind of need when you're moving around and that you're creating body-borne noise in the ear tips. You lose a lot of your bass just from that. So like if you're going at high volumes, you should be fine. But the AirPods Pro 2, I actually use those when running the city to surf. It was like a 14K run back in the day when I used to run. So yeah, you got some good options there. All right. I think I'll go for another 8 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer. I'll see how I go. As I said, I streamed way too close to bed last night, and I was live streaming in my dream. It was terrible. So I'm not feeling great. But we've got to keep going. We've got to keep kicking on. Black Friday sales. I'm streaming every day, apparently. Don't know why I started this. Let's see. Hey, Picky. I do lots of running, but I also use earbuds all the time in daily life. Should I get the OnePlus Buds or the Soundcore Sport X20? I think the OnePlus Buds 4 should work fine, as do most stem style earbuds. They don't have a massive amount of body-borne noise, like from the impact you make on the ground, reverberating through the ear tips. Price-wise, what did I just do? There we go. The Sport X20 are pretty cheap. Depends if you really need that wing or not. Yeah, $55 versus the OnePlus Buds 4 at $89. These are a solid all-around bud. Really no complaints. Really great sound. Really great tuning for training. But if you want a daily driver, I personally just like having a hook around me all the time. If I'm just using my buds around the house or at the shops or whatever, I prefer a stem style earbud. I'd say go for the OnePlus Buds 4. You are getting a much better transparency mode. You said you do a lot of running. The only downside with the Buds 4 is like with the transparency mode on, if the mics pick up wind, it's automatically going to like turn the strength of the transparency mode down. The Sport X20, I can't remember if it does that as well. Let's jump into my scoring spreadsheet and we can check that out. This is my sport scoring spreadsheet. You can download all these for free, linked below. It's got all the information about the Buds, specs and whatnot. I definitely would have added it in here to running. Wind pickup 3.5, auto wind reductions takes 4 seconds to turn on and off. So, oh yeah, so there's an automatic wind reduction for the Soundcore Sport X20, but can you turn it off, please? Yes, auto wind toggle. So in the case of running, I'd recommend going for the Sport X20, mainly for the wind reduction. So there's actually a toggle you can turn it on and off, which you can't do on the OnePlus Buds 4. So the issue here is that you're probably going to be running. Where am I? you're probably going to be running, if it's like a windy day or not, on the OnePlus Buds 4, you're not going to be able to hear your surroundings as well. Is basically what I'm trying to say right now. Oh, my mic is electrocuting me. I don't know why this happens. All right, we're all good. All good. Yeah, I think Sport X20. Yeah, if running is a priority, Sport X20 is going to be the way to go. Okay, let's pump through a couple more here. Yeah, I agree. Going back to the shooting question, no earbuds. Yeah, noise cancelling is not noise reduction. Yeah, you want to use proper hearing protection at a range. Okay. Thank you for the kind words, Karazun. Thank you. They come across authentic. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. See you later, Mr. Barton369. Thanks for tuning in. I think we're going. Yes, this is the same question before. Yeah, so I finally got to it. Yeah, I think the conclusion there was the Sport X20. So that's where, like, going into the spreadsheets for little things like that, where okay, you're like, hey, does a transparency mode have wind reduction? I'm not going to remember that. So check the spreadsheet, and then you can go to the specs and whatnot, and find little things that are specific to you. Lucky I remembered that one though. Clip-on clips, or the ones that don't go fully in for gym. My only complaint is, yeah, if you're using an open earbud at the gym, you're going to hear your surroundings. Most gyms have pretty loud music and there's a lot of noise going around. The issue with that is, with the open earbud, you're probably going to have to listen to your music a lot louder, which is not great for your hearing. So I'd recommend using an in-earbud if your gym is moderately noisy. That's just a sad downside of clip-on and open earbuds. Great to be able to hear your surroundings. Not so great if you're in a noisy environment because you're having to crank your volume too loud. Something to keep in mind. You got to protect your hearing, people. Okay. Are the Sony Ultwear for $129 a good deal, or the X4 better for $159? I can't say for sure because I haven't used the X4 in a while. I will say I have tested the Ultwear. At that price, they're definitely one of the best headphones you can get. I think I awarded them best mid-range headphone in my awards video. Can't remember. I think they have a better fit than the XM4. More spacious ear pads are a bit deeper. The XM4s are quite shallow. Even the XM6, they're pretty shallow ear pads, so they kind of push against your ear. So I prefer the Ultwear in that case. And overall, they're solid all-round headphone. All right, what's the time now? I'm gonna have to I think I'm gonna have an afternoon nap soon. Currently 3 o'clock here. I'll pump through a few more though. Waiting for the Huawei FreeBuds Pro 5. Nice. Knowing Huawei, they pump out buds pretty quick, so they probably will come out soon. So fair enough, you want to wait. Is it worth getting the AZ80? What's an alternative earbud around the same price? What are the price of the AZ80 again? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. 147. Around that's a pretty good value around that price. Like, even though they're the older model, like, they're really not that far off the AZ100. I can't think of any earbuds at that price. Like, you're gonna have no issues with the AZ80. Some of the best sound, especially at that price. Like, another one will be the Denon Pearl Pro. Denon Pearl Pro. If you want sound quality on par, although they're not on sale at the moment. They have been around 150 just randomly. Otherwise, yeah, it's going to be another bud like the Momentum 4, true wireless. But I think overall, if you want a good all-rounder, some of the best sound, I'm not even sharing my screen there. The AZ80, that's going to be the best value. Yeah. Denon Pearl Pro, if they're 150, they're pretty close. A Momentum 4, you should have been. That's probably as cheap as they'll go. So yeah, AZ80. That's probably the best value, around $150. For Android, what has the best transparency mode? Yeah, they don't work great. Like, you're gonna get the best. They're still gonna have the same transparency mode, but for Android, best transparency from memory is the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. What else? Even OnePlus Buds 4 are pretty good. They're up there with the 9.5. OnePlus Buds Pro 3, Google Pixel Buds Pro 2. I'll check my spreadsheet real quick. New all earbuds. Actually, no, an easier way to test this. And actually, that's a good thing. Something I want to add in is like a potential. I need to mention this to my Google Sheets master that sorts this out for me. Is to like somehow like rank this, like rank a certain category in order of highest score to lowest score somehow, similar to what we've done with the custom ranking. So actually, so how I do this, I actually have a master document with my scripts. So if we're going to be looking for the best transparency mode, I'm just going to go to this script real quick. Let's see, transparency, and this is how I do all my videos. So yeah, AirPods Pro 3 and Pro 2 are the best. Here we've got the OnePlus Buds 4, Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Yeah, I remember them all. Those are the best. Pixel Buds Pro 2, OnePlus Buds Pro 3, Galaxy Buds 3 Pro, OnePlus Buds 4. Best transparency mode. And all the buds with a score of 9 are pretty close as well, if any of those buds tickle your fancy. Am I even sharing that? No. There we go. No, I'm actually sharing it. So yeah, those with a 9, all those buds with a 9 are pretty solid. But yeah, you probably want to be going for OnePlus Buds 4 Pro 3, Pixel Buds Pro 2, Galaxy Buds 3 Pro. Okay. Got another donation here from Crystal Barathanquez 2282. Thanks a lot for the donation. Is it worth getting the AZ80? Oh, I just answered this. Yeah, I answered your question, but thank you for the donation. Anyway, let me know if that answered your question there as well. Saw this one here before, J-Buds Lux versus One More Sonoflow Pro. I never tested the J-Buds Lux. I don't even know the brand J-Buds. J-Buds, or is that J-Lab? You mean, also J-Lab, oh, it's the J-Lab J-Buds Lux. And what are you comparing it to? Sonoflow Pro. I've never tested the J-Buds or any J-Lab headphones, so I can't say for sure. I know that the One More Sonoflow Pro are pretty solid in terms of fit, especially very comfortable. I think the One More Sonoflow are better. They sound better after you EQ them. So what? Sonoflow Pro 61, Sonoflow 56. I'd recommend going for the Sonoflow. The only issue is you can't use noise cancelling with the headphones wired, which you can do on the Sonoflow Pro. But if that doesn't matter, the Sonoflow have some of the best comfort you can get. Okay, where was I? I said I would stop at 1:30, but I'll keep pushing through a little bit more. Try having this live stream on so everyone in the US is enjoying their Friday night, Black Friday. Then I think I won't stream. I'm kind of streamed out, and maybe I'll do a Cyber Monday stream, like maybe Monday night Aussie time, or maybe like Tuesday afternoon would be Monday night. Let's see. What are the burning questions you have? Oh, nice. So you got the OnePlus Buds 4. Huge improvement over the Jabra 65T. They're an old bud. Nice work kicking on with those. The Jabra Buds, it's sad to see Jabra not making buds anymore. The Elite 75T, one of the best buds that I've ever tested. I use those quite a bit. Yeah, sad to see them go. They made very solid earbuds. All right, let's do one. Maybe we'll do 2 more questions, and I'll wrap it up here. All right, that's a good one. Is it worth spending an extra $20 for the Earphone AirPro 4 Plus instead of the AirPro 4? The only main difference there, the sound quality is, I'd say, a noticeable improvement. Mainly if you like a brighter sound and you really want crisp treble, better instrument separation. Is that worth an extra $20? To some people, it might be. To other people, it won't be. Overall features are pretty similar as well. I think I have them scored very similar. Let's go to my scoring spreadsheet. Earphone. Yeah, the Pro 4 Plus got scored slightly better with their sound. That's the only real difference. Everything else was pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, so is an improvement in sound worth $20? Maybe to you. Maybe not. The Earphone Air Pro 4 is still solid value. You're gonna have no issues with the Earphone Air Pro 4. All right, so you're torn between the OnePlus Buds 4 and Baseus XC1. Love everything about you love the idea of a clip-on bud. The OnePlus Buds 4 are cheaper. Yeah, definitely better sound. You don't need noise cancelling, and not worried about condos. It's a tricky one. You're going to get noticeably better sound on the OnePlus Buds 4, but that's just comparing any clip-on bud to an in-ear earbud. Really depends if you want an open earbud. You know you're going to use it mainly just to hear your surroundings. So as I mentioned before, open earbuds don't work well. Like if you're on a train, a bus, even like a noisy city, especially in the gym, you're going to hear your surroundings. So you're going to have to crank your volume a bit higher. So yeah, it's really a case of do you prefer in-ear or open ear? All right. Is the difference in sound between the OnePlus Buds 4 and Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus much of a difference? I custom stole them. That sucks. Bullies. I bought mine from Australia. I think Australia, the buds normally come pretty quick to Australia. Maybe the US, it's a bit different. So in terms of sound, it's not a massive difference, no. OnePlus Buds 4 are slightly more V-shaped. You can get them sounding pretty balanced, though, if you like, in the EQ. The Earphone Air Pro 4 Plus are going to be for those that want like that real crisp treble, better separation of instruments. Is it a massive difference in sound, though? I wouldn't say so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've tested the TWX7. Audio Technica don't make the best overall true wireless earbuds. ATH TWX7. Yeah, I tested those. They were a kind of an improvement over the TWX9. The sound is a little bit. I'm not even sharing my screen. The sound is a little bit bland for me. They're for those that want a pretty natural, like almost on the flatter side type of sound, which makes it hard to EQ. If it's pretty flat, like the EQ they included was not great. That's the same with the TWX9 or the TWX7. So just much better value. And like in terms of noise cancelling and transparency, core quality wasn't great. So they're not a great all-rounder. You can spend $55 and get a better all-round bud, like the OnePlus, like the Earphone Air Pro 4 or OnePlus Buds 4. Yeah, I think I answered this before. Nothing Headphone 1 EQ. Use the Sound Guys EQ, which you can download. Otherwise, I can't remember what kind of EQ I used on them. All right. Yes. The new Baseus Sound by Bose headphones are legit. Bought them for $100. Bose Quiet Comfort for $199, and the Baseus are as good, if not better. Yeah, actually, I've got them somewhere. I completely forgot that Baseus sent them out to me because I focused on the clip-on earbuds for my review then. So I've actually got them. It's like the Baseus XH1, I think. I'm honestly kind of pissed off. I forgot to add it to my headphone awards video. Yeah, the Inspire XH1, which I believe has sound by Bose. Yeah, completely cooked it and forgot to add that in. That's right. They'll be in the next awards video probably. But I've heard really good things. My initial test is that the sound was really boomy. But I guess I had them earlier before release, so I think they must have fixed that with a firmware update. So yeah, I got to get to those eventually. My bad, my bad, Basus. I missed that one. AirPods 4 ANC for mic quality, really good. At least like when I'm testing my mic quality, it is on an iPhone 15 Pro, but I like leave myself a voice message and record the voice message, so it's on an actual phone call. They're up there with the best. Whether or not that would work well on an Android device, I can't say for sure, but usually it should be fine. In my testing, it's kind of the same whether I'm using Android or iPhone, but I can't guarantee it. But 100% I can say if you're on an Apple device, really good call quality no matter the conditions. Mm-hmm. Are the JBL 2 or Pro 2 for $100 good, or get the OnePlus Buds 4? JBL 2 or Pro 2, they're a little bit of an outdated bud, so I can't say for sure. It'd be pretty close there because I think the noise cancelling may be slightly better on the 2 or Pro 2, but this is just going off memory. I don't think I even have them anymore. Obviously, the screen case is going to be a nice little bonus if you are looking for that. Sound quality is pretty solid on the Pro 2 as well. That's a good deal. Good. Thanks for bringing that up because that's going to be like a solid value bud. JBL, they do make high quality products. I don't see too many quality control issues, although any brand has quality control issues. From memory, the call quality might not be the best. Actually, let's see if I have it on my spreadsheet. I don't think I do. Maybe let's type in JBL 2 or Pro. I do. 2 or Pro 3. What the hell? I've got them 2 or Pro 3 twice. I think that's supposed to be the 2 or Pro 2. Or did I never rank them? Anyway, I should probably delete that. Yeah, I can't say for sure. Just going off memory there. But from memory, like a pretty good all-round bud for sure. All right, let's pump through a couple more here. It's probably my last Black Friday live stream till Monday. This might be my last one. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. See how we go. Because after this, I need to buy myself a new camera and a new screen, a new monitor, which has a screen on it before Black Friday ends. Hey bro, AirPods Pro user, now on Pixel 10 Pro XL. Best TWS for mixed use and also for use on a laptop. If like price is no issue, go for the Technics AZ100. They're the best all round, or Bose QC Ultra Gen 2 if you're using it on multiple devices. And that should work well on a laptop for sure. Yeah, Technics AZ100, Bose QC Ultra Gen 2 earbuds. Benefits of Samsung and Samsung ecosystem. It's just going to be like seamless switching between your Samsung devices. So if you have a Samsung phone and a Samsung laptop, it's going to seamlessly switch without having to like reconnect. Where Samsung earbuds, if you're using them on like any device, it doesn't use multi-point connection, so you're gonna have to like manually connect each time to your new device. So you're considering the Buds 3 versus the Baseus XC1. The Buds 3, the half in-ear fit, they're going to give you noise cancelling first of all because they're a half in-ear bud. It's pretty decent as well. What am I doing? Galaxy Buds 3. I have awarded them runner-up for best half in-ear earbud. Not that I've tested that many. Can't find them, but anyway, I'm sure that they're usually around $80. Yeah. Sorry, it's so uncomfortable right now. Buds 3 are going to be better overall. You get noise cancelling, better sound because the bud is actually in your ear canal, where the Baseus XC1 is a clip-on bud. Still pretty decent sound. You might prefer the clip-on style. Really depends on what you're looking for there. I always wonder if you have a second job. Now, YouTube is my full-time job as of maybe like a year and a half ago. I probably buy maybe like 60% of the products I review. So a lot of them get sent out to me as well, which makes it a bit easier. Um, yeah, but yeah, been full-time for, just like a year and a half, which is nice. Yeah, affiliate links are down in the description below. Just check out the description of the video. All right, let's do one more. Let's finish off here with a nice little compliment. Thanks so much for your amazing channel. What's the best advice to make the Pro 4s sound the best? Pro 4s. Have you got a video on tuning the Soundcore Pro 4? Happy Christmas, happy Black Friday. Cheers. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the kind words. We're talking Liberty 4 Pro. Liberty 4 Pro. If you just check out my review, which you can do so by searching my channel, search Liberty 4 Pro. I normally chuck in my EQ customization in all my detailed reviews. So click on the old video, skip over to sound quality, and I should have my EQ customization somewhere. There we go. And there it's boosted tuning. Back when I had my shitty long hair. Yes, my Liberty 4 Pro EQ. What did I do? I just brought down the bass slightly, and the treble was a bit harsh, and then I just boosted the mids. The only issue with the Liberty 4 Pro is the EQ shift is quite high. I can't remember if it's with noise cancelling on, the EQ shift is high. But I've definitely got this in my spreadsheet as well. You can also check my spreadsheet. I don't have the EQ on my spreadsheets, but what is it? Liberty 4 Pro. What do I call it? Soundcore for Liberty 4 Pro. What was I saying? What was I looking for? Oh, EQ shift, which will be in noise cancelling. EQ shift, ANC off, 5% treble reduction, 5% bass increase. Can't use ANC transfer. I swear there was EQ shift between noise cancelling on and transparency, but I guess not. Okay, all good then. Well, hopefully that answers your question there. Should I keep going? Getting hungry. I'll just drink some water instead. I might as well just go to 2 hours. It's been an hour and 48. Let's see how many questions are here. Still quite far behind. All right, I'm just going to choose some real nice, juicy questions. Let's see, SoundBeats H3. Oh, you just got the SoundBeats H3 for 100. I have to check in spreadsheet. 3 drivers per year. I'm glad you like the sound. The unique type of tuning is. I don't know if I gave it a 10 out of 10. I think it mainly for how unique it is, and I think it's an immersive sound. All right, good question from Long King Chan. Thinking between Sennheiser Momentum 4 True Wireless or the Technics AZ100. Black Friday sale, Sennheiser price is less. Wonder which you would have better quality to price ratio. Momentum 4 are definitely less. AZ100 are definitely a better all-rounder with transparency, noise cancelling. Not that far off the Momentum 4. The Momentum 4 do give you. I really love the treble on the Momentum 4. I still think they have some of the best treble. Let's bring it up here and see what they're at. I think they weren't on sale. They're like 179, which might have been on sale. Because that's 179. Yeah, Technics AZ100. Surprisingly, the AZ100 come up first when I type in Momentum 4. Some nice advertising there from Technics. Momentum 4. Maybe I'll type in. Oh, they're here. Come on. I think they were 179. Yeah. Yeah, definitely the AZ100 are better all round. I haven't really played around with the Momentum 4 in a while, so we'll check out what I have them scored. Momentum. I've got them on 4, no? Sennheiser. Sennheiser. Remember, Sennheiser is double N. Sennheiser Centum. Where the heck are they? Surely they're here. Oh, Sennheiser M4. So comfort, like security, you get like a little wingtip, which is pretty nice. The battery is good. It's a thick case. It's a pretty chunky case. Controls are fine. Connectivity. The core. That's the only downside. Core quality in windy conditions is terrible. Where the AZ100 has some of the best core quality. So that's something to consider. If that's important to you, do not go for the Momentum 4. Everything else is solid. Almost on par with the AZ100. So yeah, it depends if that core quality is a big one for you. OnePlus Buds 3 Pro versus Sennheiser Momentum 4. That's another case where you're going to get better sound on the Momentum 4. The OnePlus Buds 3 Pro are better overall, especially the core quality is very decent. Much better core quality. If core quality doesn't matter for you in windy conditions, then I'd say the Momentum 4 might be better with that better sound quality. The noise cancelling is a bit stronger as well. Transparency is better on the Buds Pro 3, but Momentum 4 transparency is fine. It just picks up wind easily. Yes, I do lives. Mainly just at Black Friday. But I have thought about doing more live streams. Just like maybe if I'm testing a new unboxing a product or something. See how I go. I don't mind it. I don't mind the live stream. I do have a very rough setup here. This is not a proper live streaming setup. But it gets the job done, you know? I can answer your questions. That's the main thing, right? Help you people out. Don't need no fancy setup for a live stream. Hello, you recommended me Moondrop purchase. Nice. I wonder which one you get. If you got probably the Space Travel 2 or Space Travel, very solid earbuds. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna push through to 2 hours. We're gonna go another 7 minutes, 20 seconds. Because now I'm getting hungry. So I'm actually gonna skip the nap time and then I'm gonna eat. And then I'm going to buy that monitor before it sells out. So I'm currently using a 32-inch LG Ultrafine, but it's 60 hertz. And once you use a 120 hertz monitor or any 120 hertz display, 60 hertz is just the worst thing. So like I use a MacBook Pro with a 120 hertz screen. So I'm finally going to get a monitor that has 120 hertz. And I'm finally buying a camera. That's right. I've used an iPhone since the start of this channel. I'm using my iPhone right now, which is why the quality probably doesn't look that great because the lighting's kind of weird. But I'm finally going to be a real YouTuber and buy a camera. So exciting times ahead. You're probably not even going to notice much of a difference in the video quality because I've mastered the iPhone video quality. And I don't like change, which is why I avoided getting a camera for so long. What I'm doing right now works, although lately my AirDrop has been acting up super strange. So I'm kind of sick of it. And I'm just going to bite the bullet and get a camera. Anyway, back to the final few questions here. Let's see. Is there a more reliable quality-wise hook open earbud than the Soundcore Aerofit 2? Had bad luck with my last 2 pairs with them. Are you reviewing the Barodynamic ones? I'm not reviewing them. The only other like adjustable hook style open earbud that I reviewed is a Tozo Open Buds. I have heard of some people having issues with the adjustable wing on the Aerofit 2, sadly. Yeah, with the Tozo Open Buds, they are a cheaper bud, although I haven't heard that many issues with the Tozo O2. And they got pretty decent reviews. And I'm just kind of going off comments that I've seen. Like the adjustment there feels pretty nice. They're not as comfortable as the Aerofit 2, but that could be another good option. Yeah, they're a great open earbud. Yeah, just poor call quality. Call quality is the only downside with those. Thanks for the donation, Golden Boy. A lot of the time, I saw your question before. I appreciate you donating. I actually don't even have, because I'm using StreamYard. It doesn't show up when someone donates. I just I'm scrolling through, and eventually I'll see it. So I don't mean to do that, but I answered your question before. Hopefully that helps you out. If not, let me know. Okay. Okay. Any suggestions for OnePlus Buds 4 custom ear tips? The SpinFit Omni tips are pretty good, but only medium will fit in the case. You might be able to squeeze large in, but they do work quite well, especially if you want a deeper fit. But that's all that I've tried. Yeah, the case, it's pretty squished in, so you can only fit that large of an ear tip on. Best workout over ear headphones under $100. I haven't really tested. Oh, you're talking over ear headphones under $100. Let's see. I'm trying to think of what have some of the better clamping force. Like the Sony Altwear are probably going to be good. Like from what I've tested, the Sony XM6 have pretty decent clamping force. This will depend on your head size as well, but nothing kind of strikes me straight away, because really with an over-ear headphone, you need the clamping force to be tight so they don't fall off your head when you're deadlifting, you're leaning over for rows, you're lying down for a bench press. So I don't have any recommendations from at least from what I've tested. Sadly, I can't help you out there. Soundcore Liberty 5 or Buds Pro? Liberty 5. They're probably more expensive, but they're a better overall bud for sure. Let's see. Don't know the channel. Yeah, definitely. I've watched heaps of his videos. Really good, in-depth, technical analysis. Yeah, really good reviews. Based off his testing, going for the AirPods Pro 2. Yeah, a lot of the more like audiophile channels still think they prefer the sound of the AirPods Pro 2. They're still a great sounding bud. I think they're a bit more balanced compared to the Pro 3. I personally prefer the Pro 3. They just got slightly more bass. The treble is more forward, which I prefer, but you might not. They're a great all-around bud today still. Yeah, the AirPods Pro 2. Solid bud. All right, we've got another 2 minutes to go. Suggesting adding driver type to your spreadsheet. Models with a single dynamic driver shouldn't be top dollar unless it's Apple. Yeah, the amount of drivers doesn't really matter. Like the Bowers and Wilkins PI8, they use one driver, I'm pretty sure. A lot of brands use one driver. Even some of the best IEMs use one driver, and you're going to get the best sound, especially from Sennheiser. So the amount of drivers, I don't think it really matters that much. That's why I don't really go into too much detail about that. The main thing is how it sounds, which you can have 5 drivers and have an earbud sound terrible. So yeah, I think it's kind of overrated. It's a bit of a marketing thing. There are differences to certain types of drivers. The main thing is how they're tuned, though. You're admiring the long hair on the older videos. Yeah, I used to have the long hair out back when I was earbud Jesus. It was a good little phase. But thanks for the kind words, and happy to make your shopping easier. All right. The final minute is here. Have I tried the PI8 with wire connection? Yeah. I've noticed you get slightly better sound quality there, and you can get some really low latency if you use the USB-C to auxiliary, because it will use aptX low latency, I'm pretty sure. So if you want to game with them, or you just want the lowest latency, the wire connection works really well. Yeah, I did test that out in my review, but it's not something I personally use much unless I'm going on a flight, but I still don't really use it. All right. I think we'll finish it there. Thank you, Cut Striker 8496. Thanks for the stream, Picky. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I might do another one tomorrow or Cyber Monday or something like that. But yeah, hopefully it helped you out. Thanks for tuning in. Stay picky with your earbuds and your headphones, and I'll see you in the next live stream or video. Bye now.